concentrating on work, and guess what? Everybody's telling her that, hey, the biological clock is ticking. And what does that do to her? She's confused, she's unhappy, irritable, and sometimes she becomes a terrible boss because she's dealing with the issues of maternity. Now meet Ekuba. I like Ekuba because I'm quite academic as well. So Ekuba is 43. She just finished her PhD in anthropology. And she's now ready to have a family, but she doesn't have a partner. And everybody is saying that it's not good to have kids outside of marriage. Okay, so now she's thinking of adoption. But it looks like adoption is not a very easy process in Ghana. I didn't know. So what does Ekuba do? Does she just wait? Those are some of the issues. Nanama's story is very sad. 32. She's in the financial sector, doing well.
African. Truly African. Truly African. Good evening and welcome to Hot News. We are live on Pan-African Television. We're coming to you from our studios in Abelemkpe 48 Swanika Street here in Accra. My name is Justice Appiah. Let me remind you that we are streaming live on Facebook at Pan-African Television. We are streaming also live on YouTube at Pan-African Television. The program is very interactive and you can leave your comments on our Facebook page or on all our social media pages. We'll make a time and read all those out for you, but especially on our Facebook live posts. We'll read all those out for you. Also, you can send in your messages on 0260846539, 0260846539. Tonight on Hot News, we are looking at the PDS scandal. The National Democratic Congress has assured that they will retrieve over 1.5 billion revenue collected by PDS in fraudulent power concession. Well, what are they talking about? You all will recall that somewhere in March 2019, the Power Distribution Services, a private entity, took over the operations of the electricity of Ghana Company Limited, and there were issues that happened. Later, the then energy minister told Ghanaians that the deal in itself was fraudulent. For that reason, the deal has been cancelled. The National Democratic Congress has alleged that the PDS at the time collected over 1.5 billion, bills and all of that, and they did not account for such monies, and that when they are voted into power, come 2020, they'll retrieve all those monies. Is that true? I have my guests in the studio tonight, and of course, they are in persons of Mr. George A.C., Director of Communications for NADMO, also doubles as a communication team member of the New Patriotic Party. And also in the studio is Kojo Dankwa, a member of the National Democratic Congress Communication. Gentlemen, you're welcome to Hot News.
Thank you.
I'll start with you, Mr. AC, on this issue. The National Democratic Congress held a press conference.
They must tell us what they're talking about.
They are accusing your party having engaged in a fraudulent deal when it comes to the PDS issue. Quite apart from that, the PDS collected over 1.5 billion Ghana cedis, and they did not account for it after the contract was actually terminated between the government of Ghana and PDS. And so they are demanding that government renders account or hold PDS responsible to render an account. Or when they come to power, they will retrieve site monies from PDS. What's your take on that?
Yeah, thank you. I don't know when they are coming to power anyway. But whatever be the matter, good evening to yourself, your production crew, my brother Kojo Dankwa.
Okay.
Good evening to our viewers. The PDS issue is just a diversionary tactics.
Okay.
It's much ado about nothing.
Okay.
The NDC have had eggs smashed on their faces, and instead of talking about the critical issue that Mr. Hoy is written about the NDC and the timing of that, the launch of that book, which is worrisome to them. And of course, the success story of the EC, which we need to be digesting now to make people aware of the need for us to have a new register, which has been so well established. And the MPP vindicated on the issues that the register indeed was bloated. They want to have a diversionary tactics.
Okay.
So we are talking about power distribution services. Be it as it may, once they've raised it, let's talk about it. The fact of the matter is that there was a concessionaire agreement initiated by the then John Dramani Mahama administration.
Okay.
So by 2014, they had made, it started around 2014, and so by the time they exited power, they had reached a certain level of agreement, which levels of agreement included that we're going to give this thing out, ECG out on a concessionaire partnership, 80% foreign owned and 20% Ghanaian. And then it was going to run for 25 years. And then some workers were going to be laid off in the process. Then they lost power, fortunately for Ghanaians. And so when we took over, the visionary leader, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, said no. He will want to promote indigenous ownership. And so he decided to review three critical, those were the main changes, three critical changes that we made to the agreement by the
National Democratic Congress.
NDC, thank you. And so which agreements, which changes we made were, one, the concessionaire was going to be 49% foreign ownership and then 51% Ghanaian ownership.
Okay.
That was one. Two, instead of 25 years, we're varying it, reviewing it to 20 years, standing agreement. And then three, no worker of ECG was to be involuntarily retired or sacked from the company as long as the agreement stands for the 20-year period. So that is forward looking. Now, certain things also happened, amongst which is the government decided to reduce electricity tariffs in the country, right? And then when that was done, the partners, the original, and then when these revisions were also done, some original members in the whole process of acquiring the concessionaire agreement decided to opt out, okay? And so ultimately you saw that the foreign partners, it was virtually left with Miracle, okay? BSA and Co. decided to go away, especially because of the reduction in the electricity tariff. This thing, they thought it was not the best, especially when a lot of monies were locked up. And that is even part of the reasons why the concessionaire agreement was entered into.
Okay.
So when they won this and the Ghanaian partnership was formed, which Ghanaian partnership, to remind viewers, is the one, we have the, apart from Miracle and Energia SA, Miracle owned 30%, Energia SA 19%.
Okay.
Then the Ghanaian partners, three of them collectively had the 51%. GTS Engineering Services of Ghana, Santa Baron Ventures of Ghana, and TG Energy of Ghana. So these formed the special purpose vehicle, so that we get the Ghanaian partnership side being strong. My brother, and when this happened and it was almost completed, key things were there. About 40 conditions were there to be fulfilled. And key amongst them are condition precedents, which condition precedents included an insurance guarantee, okay? So these people went out shopping for an insurance company that has the capacity to hold this.
Okay.
And they went to the Downwell Insurance.
Okay.
Downwell Insurance was ready to be the insurance company for them. But their capacity was below the capacity that was needed. Because, don't forget, the PDS is going to take over an asset worth $3 billion of the electricity company of Ghana. You get it? So if you're doing that, then you need an insurance company that is weightier. And so Downwell then had to go and get a reinsurance company. And so they went to Jordan and got Joe Australia. Joe Australia decided, well, they were going to come in. That is how come then it went, the Alkut guys had to also come somewhere. And then when these Alkut guys went in, we realized that somebody who was fronting as a key person, on behalf of Alkut, didn't actually have the locus. Didn't actually have the locus to go into any agreement on behalf of his company. And so when this was done, he did it. And that was brought forth to the government, or MIDA, Millennium Development Authority. In fact, they were the front agency that was dealing with this whole thing. And so when it was done, then later government of Ghana saw that no, certain things were not going well, because when PDS started, whilst these things were going on, the operations of PDS had started. You get it? Because that's how come the condition precedent, they had got the insurance guarantee, albeit problematic. And so we decided, you have to take this, it's like you are collecting the monies, and you've not brought certain things that you are supposed to put on the table yet, all of them. And so we decided, look, let's dive deep to see what the issue is. That is the government of Ghana. Then we said, look, let's send a team to, is it Jordan or Qatar, to go and see what the issue is, especially with the issue of the insurance guarantee. And then lo and behold, when we went, we realized the man who is fronting for the insurance guarantee and said their company is agreed, the Alkut guy, didn't actually have the locus. And so it became a problem. Then the government of Ghana said, look, you've brought something which is not authentic. So there's an attempt at, being fraudulent. And so if that is the case, we are not going to continue with these agreements. Because you've shown a dishonest position.
So you would admit that the then Energy Minister, Honorable Peter Mewu, said that there were elements of fraud in the deal, and for that reason, the deal was actually suspended.
Yes, that's what I'm harping on. Which element of fraud was perpetrated by the outsiders, not the Ghanaians. The company that is to be the insurer
but in signing such huge deals, what kind of diligence was actually done?
Yeah, the due diligence is what is unearthed. That is what has unearthed this, because it is condition precedent and then condition subsequent. What it meant was that as the negotiation goes on, if you've met about the first 2 or 3, 5 key ones, the rest, as we go, we'll be dealing with them and then make progress. That's condition subsequent, right? And so everything was going on due diligence. That is how come we're able to uncover. It's the same government of Ghana that saw that something was wrong. And then when we discovered or uncovered it, we said, no, we're not going to continue with the whole agreement, We're going to truncate it or abrogate it. Then FTI was set up. A committee was set up by the FTI to go and investigate and go into the details. They came out and also established or confirmed that indeed something was wrong as far as the insurance issue was concerned. But the MCCE, Millennium Challenge Compact, felt that no, in spite of all this, the project or the concessionaire agreement should continue. Then the government of Ghana says, why? Because of $190 million. We should not get $3 billion asset of ECG. When the people we are dealing with are not genuine. Before I bring this part to a close, let's put it on record. Sami Jemfi and Co. are just blowing hot air. There's nothing in it.
So there are some more questions to be asked.
Of course.
And I would want to get a better and better
understanding. Go on. Yeah.
Now, if we admit that there were some elements of fraud in the deal, if some persons fronted for the deal, there were people who were leading for the deal to be signed at the time. how many people have been punished, sort of, in the element of fraud that has been, you know,
which
identified?
Fraud was perpetrated where? Outside of Ghana, not in Ghana. Not in Ghana. I don't see where you say
who contacted?
I contact you. You say you can do that. Good. So when you say you can provide that insurance, so let's go. Let genuine bring it, because we need that to be able to make progress on the thing. You've brought it. We've gone into the agreement. Because conditions subsequent are there, as we go, we do further and better due diligence. And that is, in the process, we got to know that, oh, okay, these people that are saying they have that insurance guarantee, actually.
And so nobody should be punished.
Who was complicit? If you know somebody, let's put them out. You get it? We have seen that, no, we are not. That's why the government of Ghana says, we are not going to continue. Okay? Which money was lost to the states? Okay, let's get to know that.
Okay.
And the NDC was accusing the president and the finance minister and other key people that it was family and friends something, justice. And a serious-minded person, who is, unlike John Mahama, who had the Airbus family and friend issue. If President Akufo-Addo had family and friend and has interest and is going to benefit directly from the whole process, why would he truncate the process, abrogate the agreement? Because it's going to benefit him and his friends and family. But he says, no, I'm not going on. Even the US MCC said, go on, continue with it. He said, no. So it's only in the NDC logical tank that you can see that somebody stands to benefit and yet is refusing to proceed or progress with a deal that is going to bring dividends to him. Okay? It's mind-boggling.
Government promised at the time to make findings public in that particular deal. Did they do that?
Well, we can check all those details.
What were the findings?
The FTI came out with all the details.
And what were the details?
But you can Google it and get everything. I had all the FTI report. The finance minister, when they returned from US, all the details are here. What he said and why we are not continuing with the whole agreement. And then the last one.
Okay.
Summit MF and the NDC are of the view, or they hold it against government, that some monies were collected. Let's put it on record. That not a dime was taken out of this country in the process of the PDS agreement or engagement. If Summit MF and the NDC believe that indeed there was some offshore transaction, offshore transactions are paper trails. Tell us where the offshore bank that the money ultimately ended. The truth of the matter is that there were investigations in there and there were reconciliation of the work they had done and what is due them and what is due Ghana. And that was settled. And they were asked to move on.
You see, state properties were handed over to PDS in the course of the agreement.
Yes.
They collected some tariffs and all of that.
1.5 billion per
fantastic.
Yes. That's what I was talking about.
Who did they account such, funds to?
Oh, why? You think they were just asked to go? No. And that's why I'm telling you, there's not be any transaction or money taken outside of this country, offshore transaction, as Sami Jemfi wants us to believe. If he has it, he should give us the paper trails. Okay? And then we can track them and tell us which bank offshore, Australia, Canada, UK, US, where the money, or Trinidad and Tobago, where the money ultimately ended. So it's just blowing hot air. Much ado about nothing. Let's stop wasting our time. That's all. The same with Templeton agreement. They stock something. Nothing. They went all the way to US and came back. They have eggs smashed in their faces.
If you say so, viewers, you're still watching Hot News on Pan-African Television with me, Justice Appiah. We're coming to you from our studios in Abelenque, 48 Swanika Street here in Accra. Keep your messages coming in on 0260846539, 0260846539. Now, let me come to my brother, Kojo. Kojo, you have held a press conference and you're asking government to prosecute and, as a matter of fact, account for the monies collected by PDS when they signed the deal with them. On what basis are you accusing government? Government says that, well, there hasn't been anything of that sort and you're blowing just hot air. How would you react to that?
Good evening, Justice. Good evening to your cherished listeners.
Very well.
Before I begin, I would want to send a special greetings to our teaming assembly members out there who have received the message of John Dramani Mahama.
You have promised to pay them when you come to you come back to power.
That we are going to pay them, given the opportunity to come back to power December.
Have you heard what the majority leader has said? That it was unconstitutional for the former president to say so.
Laws were made for men, not men made for laws.
Men. Sorry, okay, for
you
laws.
Understand?
Okay, right.
And so, I mean, if there is any lacuna anywhere, given the opportunity, we would amend those lacunas and ensure that assemblymen are paid what is due them.
Okay.
And so, let me say a very good evening to our assemblymen. Again, let me say a very good evening to the teeming youth in Ghana who are frustrated for lack of jobs. John Dramani Mahama says, given the opportunity, he is going to ensure that each and every youth out there gets an opportunity to have a job. And that is going to create 250,000 jobs every year. So in a matter of 4 years, please. So in a matter of 4 years, please.
When you were allow him, he was very quiet when you were making a submission.
I was here.
He was very quiet when you were making a submission. But kindly allow him to make. Well, he decides what he used his time for. So go ahead.
So I can also use my time for.
Well, you went straight to the issues.
I'll do that.
So in a matter of 4 years, just like I reiterated, we are going to provide over 1 million jobs for the teeming Ghanaian youth who, I mean, do not have any hope, iota of hope in this administration. Again, President John Dramani Mahama has promised the people who invested in the banks that have been collapsed by this Akufo-Addo government, that given the opportunity, all those monies that you invested in those banks are going to be refunded back to you. And so just give us the opportunity, and when the time is due, we are going to pay back all those monies. Again, President John Dramani Mahama says that he is going to deliver a free primary health care to all Ghanaians, and this one will not be limited to certain individuals alone. Every Ghanaian is going to enjoy the free primary health care, and it's something that we are going to do. It's something that is non-negotiable. This government has not been able to do that. This government, as we speak, is collapsing even the NHIS. And so, given the opportunity, we are going to ensure that every Ghanaian would enjoy free health care, the primary one for that matter. Now, look, let's come back to PDS. You know, before I even start, there's a need for me to, as it were, clear certain things. First of all,
go ahead.
My brother made a point that BSC decided to move out of the concession or to move out of the bidding of the concession.
Very well.
That is false. BSC was taken out by this government. And as we speak, BSC is in court.
On what basis are you saying that they've taken BSC out of the concession?
You know, there was a grand scheme by this government to ensure that they share the PDS to family and friends, chronics, and their current.
Who are those family and friends? Prove.
I'll get there. Don't worry. I'll get there. We'll get to the family and friends. We'll get there. And so they managed to take BSC out so that they will be able to give it to those family and friends. That's how come they took BSC out. And as we speak, BSC is in court. So that claim by my brother is totally false. Again, my brother said, oh, there was due diligence. Look, I'm sure he has not read the FTI report.
What did the report say?
Look, the FTI report was very clear. It says that this government did not take advice by its own financial advisors to ensure that there was due diligence in giving PDS, giving ECG to PDS. That is the FTI report. And if you recall, when that report came, and we were castigating the government, we were telling the government that no, you didn't do the right thing. The government came out to tell us that, look, the FTI report is not the final report, and that they were coming out with the final report, and Ghanaians should exercise some bit of patience. But as we speak, there is no final report. And you see, for me, I just don't speak. Look, this is the Ghana report news. PDS probe, FTI report, not the full picture. Wait on final report. Government urges public. And this was published on September 7th, 2019.
Okay.
So where lies the claim that indeed the FTI report finalizes everything? That's the claim my brother made. And that one too is false.
What is false?
So
there was no FTI report?
No, I said, you see, you said that. Listen, you said that. Please, you said that. The FTI report was the final report, and I'm telling you that your government said it wasn't the final report. Okay, that's what you said. So when you asked him that the government make public the final report, he said no, there was no final report. It was the FTI report. No, that's what he said. He has
asked me to check actually. But let's briefly. I mean, let me clear.
I'm angry when you try to lie on me.
I disagree. I think he asked me to check. He asked me to.
Wait.
But
wait.
That's
what happened. That's the more reason why I wrote it.
Put the pen
when you asked him about the FTI report, when you asked about FTI report, and you said the government said it was coming out with a final report. Has the government made public the report? No. The report is the FTI report. That's what he said.
But he has asked me to check on Google. But I have Google over here, and this story was published. I'll come back to you. But this story was published by Mabel. Oh, my brother. Let's our viewers.
I don't like this.
For the sake of our viewers, let me read this out. This is a story. This is a story published by Mabel Aku Banetse, and it was dated September 6, 2019, at 7:31. The PDS puzzle: consultant clears firm, but government media reject report. FTI Consulting, a United States-based consulting firm commissioned by the Millennium Development Authority (MIDA) to investigate whether or not the Power Distribution Services (PDS) Limited duly won the contract to manage the assets of the Electricity Company of Ghana (ECG), has confirmed that the insurance guarantees were indeed paid to back the PDS takeover of the assets and operations of the ECG. A 32-page report submitted by FTI Consulting to MIDA dated September 3, 2019 and signed by Pat Perikak and David Okumal, both officials of the consulting firm, said, quote, "We have not seen any document that would suggest that as of March 1, 2019, PDS, Carbank, Danwell, and or personnel from MIDA should have questioned the validity of the payment securities. We further note that officials from our court confirmed to K&L Gates, a law firm in Qatar, that the stamp applied on the acknowledgement and agreement page of the payment securities is that of our court. They further confirmed that the signatures are those of Al-Nori and Fadi Dangov, who are employees of our court. The report disclosed in response to claims by our court that the staff who signed the insurance guarantee did not have the authority to do so. However, the report also found out that of the $12.25 million that was changed by Carbank to PDS as fees, that was charged by Carbank to PDS as fees for raising the payment securities on $1 million, 8% was funded by the equity contribution by a PDS stakeholder. $7 million, into bracket 55%, was funded by a loan that was advanced by the car bank to another PDS stakeholders. This loan was repaid from the operating cash flows generated by PDS after the transfer date. It goes on and on and on. But it says the balance of $4.25 million, 35% was also paid directly from operating cash flows generated by the PDS after the transfer date. He said it goes on and on and on. So I want you to go ahead. Yeah.
So I think that in the course of the week, the NDC, as part of its weekly press briefing, decided to talk about the PDS scandal, the biggest scam ever to have been perpetuated against the people of Ghana.
Okay.
In the government since the inception of the Fourth Republic. Now, you would recall that somewhere in, I think, July, government said it was suspending the PDS deal. Do you remember?
I remember.
And this is a letter okay, which was written by the Ministry of Information on behalf of government. This letter is dated July 30th, 2019.
Okay.
And listen to the reason why government said it was terminating the contract.
Okay.
Is that the government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Finance and the Electricity Company of Ghana Limited, has suspended the concession agreement with Power Distribution Services Ghana Limited with immediate effect. The decision follows the detection of fundamental and material breaches of PDS obligation in the provision of payment securities, that is demand guarantees, for the transaction, which have been discovered upon further due diligence. The demand guarantee were key prerequisites for the lease of assets on 1st March 2019 to secure the assets that were transferred to the concessionaire. Now, so this letter clearly, please. When they say further due diligence, it means that there was no due diligence in the very first place. There was no, and I'll show that. Don't worry, I'll show that. Look, please.
But let me clear the air that at first, when the FTI report first came out, the New Patriotic Party has said that Ghanaians should wait for the final FTI report. Well, wait for the final FTI report. Government urges public. So I think at the early stage of the report, they said the report was not concluded and that Ghanaians should wait for the final report.
And when the report,
I have asked whether or not they have made public the final report and all of that. That is what
they have not done. That.
Okay,
they have not done that. So you see, after government suspended this deal, a minister under this Akufo-Addo government by name Peter Amewu, who is the Minister of Energy, came to tell Ghanaians that PDS presented forged documents to take over the asset, the over 20 billion asset of YEC.
That was true.
And that's I have the documents here too. This is Modern Ghana, 31st July 2019. PDS presented forged document. Minister Peter Amewu. That is it. You understand? So, please, wait. What is this?
Let's see, plenty allow me. He's building a point.
Would you allow me? You see, it was not just the minister. A member of parliament under Akufo-Addo's government also said that those who were part of the deal, the grand scheme, ought to be prosecuted.
Very well.
And so, all that we were waiting for was a prosecution.
Katie Hammond, you're talking about?
Yes, it was Katie Hammond. And that is it here. Joyonline.com. That is it here. The cameras can capture it for our viewers to see. Please capture it.
If you can,
this is Katie Hammond.
Zoom the camera for that to be captured very well. All right. You can go ahead. You can show it to the camera.
Now,
you can show it to the camera actually. Which are the cameras? Okay, this particular one. Yeah.
Please zoom. This is Katie Hammond, a member of parliament. Under President Akufo-Addo's government. Is the one saying this. And a former deputy minister of energy said that there was some wrongdoing. And that those who took part in the grand scheme must be prosecuted.
Very well.
And as we speak, has anybody been prosecuted? No. Not even an ant has been prosecuted as we speak. Now, apart from that, there's a need for us to look into the fact.
But you are alleging that this fraud, engaged or involved some family and friends without telling the good people of Ghana who the family and friends are.
I'll get there. I'll get there. Don't worry. I have a pack of documents here. We'll get there.
Very well. Let's go.
Now, let's look into the facts of the matter. What brought about this whole PDS deal and what have you? You know, the PDS deal is as a result or is a product of the U.S. Compact. You know, in 2000 thereabout. When we were given Compact 1 to 2012, the then government from 2000 to 2012, that is Kufuor and Mills, ensured that the monies that were given were utilized judiciously. And so the U.S. government said that, it was going to give us an additional money to ensure that we use it to restructure our electricity. We use it so that we can distribute our electricity in a way and manner that the private sector could be involved.
Very well.
So that was how come we got the Compact 2.
Now,
when we got the Compact 2, there was an arrangement or an agreement in Parliament. And that agreement contained 45 condition precedents. And those 45 condition precedents were to be fulfilled before the asset of ECG would have been given to PDS. I hope you understand.
Very well.
When you say condition precedent, there are things that you must do before you take over the asset of ECG. Now, condition precedent 24 and 31 were that there should be some financial security or payment of some securities.
Okay.
That is the demand guarantee or in the form of how do you call it? Bank guarantee. Now, something happened, and this is where the family and friends comes to play.
Okay.
Some people, top-notch individuals in this government.
Who are those people?
I'm coming. Instead of ensuring that these demand guarantees were fulfilled, they rather met and ensured that they changed the demand guarantee to insurance guarantee. And I have a minute. You see this?
Very well.
This is a minute of a meeting that transpired. Okay, that ensured that the demand guarantee was changed to an insurance guarantee, and it was chaired by no less a person than the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Hussein Boat Bawumia. He chaired that meeting, and that is the minute. Look, matters arising from previous minutes.
Okay.
Update on ECG PSP transaction.
Okay.
Listen to the comments here. The CEO expressed gratitude to His Excellency the Vice President, the Minister of Finance, the CEO, and all stakeholders for their hard work and tireless effort to ensure the transfer of the assets and operations of ECG to PDS on 1st March 2019. He thereafter informed the board that there were a number of condition precedents which were converted to condition subsequent, which must be completed within 6 months from the transfer date. A number of condition precedents which were changed to condition subsequent.
Is it wrong for condition precedent to be converted to condition subsequent?
You know why there was a need to have a
is it wrong for that to be done?
Yeah, it was wrong.
What makes it wrong?
This is why it is wrong. You see, the condition precedent would have ensured that the asset of ECG, over 20 billion asset of ECG, would have been safeguarded such that if there was a default by PDS, Ghana would have fallen on that guarantee, the bank guarantee, and would have gotten back our monies. Do you understand? That was why it was wrong for them to have changed the condition precedent to condition what? Subsequent.
Okay.
And this was led by no less a person
than the Vice President.
The Vice President of Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Hussein Boat Bawumia.
Okay.
And when we are talking about this, and apart from Bawumia, the Minister of Finance was part of this meeting.
Okay.
And they ensured that this condition precedent was changed. And we are talking about this. You sit here. What's the crime in that? Oh, my God. You see, these are the people we have given our country to. You don't know that the condition precedent would have ensured that the properties of ECG would have been safeguarded. You don't know? You don't know this? You see, this is the kind of people we have given.
So in other words, you're saying that because that was converted, the properties of the nation wasn't safeguarded. Is that what
it was not safeguarded. That is the more reason why the monies they took, as we speak, they've not been able to account for the monies. Have they been able to account for those
But he
monies?
said they've not left the people to go scot-free. It means that there were some accounts made.
Who have been prosecuted? No, who have been prosecuted? Tell me who has been prosecuted. Look, Akut came to tell us that the insurance, how do you call it, guarantee that PDS bought, that it said it came from Akut.
Okay.
Akut came out with a letter to tell us that that insurance guarantee was fraudulent as well. And that is the letter. This one too is dated 31st July 2019. That is Akut's what? Letter. The insurance company that was supposed to have insured PDS, okay, to take over the asset of ECG, said that insurance, how do you call it, package they brought was also fraudulent.
Okay.
You understand? And these are the people we are dealing with. So they sat somewhere, cooked an insurance, how do you call it, guarantee, and presented it to the government of Ghana that this is an insurance for the takeover of ECG. Meanwhile, that insurance was fraudulent. And now, you people have agreed. Akut has corroborated that the insurance was what? Was fraudulent.
Okay.
Those who presented those fraudulent insurance, what has been done to them? That is the question. Those who came out with that fraudulent insurance.
Okay.
Where are they? Have they been prosecuted? Have they been punished? And this is the government that says that it is fighting corruption. This is the government that says that we should allow him to do whatever he wants.
Is that enough to accuse government that they've engaged in some sort of corrupt?
Of course. If you change condition precedent to condition subsequent, and the insurance company that is supposed to give the insurance guarantee says that whatever they presented is fraudulent, and you have not arrested anybody, you have not prosecuted anybody, what else do you want us to believe?
Okay.
You understand me?
Very well.
And so there were a lot of things that went on under this government, under the PDS deal, that this government ought to have prosecuted those who were found culpable in that act. But as we speak, nobody has been prosecuted. Okay. Nobody has been punished for any wrongdoing. And that is something that every Ghanaian must speak about. And so I don't understand why my brother will sit here and talk about other things apart from this. Look, with the PDS scandal, now I'm going to show you the family and friends.
Okay.
Look at this. Have you seen this?
I've seen it.
You have seen it. Look, this man here.
It's not too clear though.
It's not too clear. Yes, this man here is Kelly Kajipo.
Okay, who is he?
Kelly Kajipo is the board chair of ECG.
Okay.
Kelly Kajipo is also CEO of Group Enterprise. You know Group Enterprise?
Very well.
Group Enterprise is owned by how do you call it? Ken Oforiatta.
Okay.
So he works with what? Ken Oforiatta.
Okay.
And they have made him ECG board what? Chair.
Okay.
And he was part of the grand scheme to ensure that ECG was given to PDS.
But what's wrong with him being given a position at ECG?
What's wrong with what?
What's wrong with Kelly Kajipo being given a
Kelly
position at ECG?
has ties with Ken Oforiatta, who is the finance minister.
So is it wrong for Kelly Kajipo to be given a position?
This is family and friends.
And especially when he's qualified.
Qualified. I don't know a lot of people who are qualified. And you know that before, when they took over, okay, they changed the structure of everything. And so whether or not he's qualified, are there no more people who are qualified than Kelly Kajipo? Okay. Now, apart from Kelly Kajipo, this is Martin Esom, CEO for MIDA.
Okay.
Okay. He's also a board member of Enterprise Group.
Okay.
So you see the connection of the family and friends. Apart from that, this is the Baba we are talking about, Philip Ayensu. Philip Ayensu is the board chair of NCA and a member of the MPP. Now, Philip Ayensu is a Baba. He has been appointed by President Akufo-Addo as the board chair of NCA. And at the same time, he is the CEO or the chairman of PDS.
Okay.
Is there no conflict of interest? That is the more reason why we've not been able to prosecute all these people behind the PDS scandal. Because these are family and friends.
What are their crimes?
Okay, these are their crimes. Now listen to me carefully. Now I mentioned Philip Ayensu. Philip Ayensu is an appointee of President Akufo-Addo. Listen carefully. As the board chair of NCA and a member of the MPP, President appointed him. Okay. This same Philip Ayensu is the one who is the chairman of PDS that took over the assets of ECG without providing the guarantees that he was supposed to provide. All right. You understand? And so how do you expect somebody who has been appointed by the president taking over ECG fraudulently be punished by President Akufo-Addo? It can happen. I hope you understand. Very well. How do you expect somebody who is an ally to the finance minister, okay, to be punished by the president when they have fraudulently taken over the assets of ECG? That cannot happen. That is what we are talking about. The family and what? And friends. Okay. And so where we are now, okay, look, we are saying that, we in the NDC, we are saying that if President Akufo-Addo, okay, as he has always been touting himself as someone who is against corruption and incorruptible and all that, if he's indeed incorruptible, then he must ensure that all these people are brought to book. And that if he fails to bring these people to book, we in the NDC, given the opportunity, we are going to ensure that every Tom, Dick, and Harry who was involved in this PDS scandal will be brought to book. We will take them to court, we will prosecute them, and they will face the full rigors of the law.
Fantastic. I'll come back to you. But briefly, Mr. C rightly mentioned that they did not leave, PDS, the power distributors to go scot-free. It means that they've rendered account to the good people of Ghana and all of that. What monies are you going to retrieve? Which 1.5 million are you going to retrieve when you come to power?
If they have accounted, okay, they should publish, okay, how the account of PDS was accounted, who audited the accounts and all that. They should make it known for us to know. They have not done that. And that is why I'm saying that, given the opportunity, we are going to audit them. We are going to make sure they account for whatever money that they have taken.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Kojo, for your submission. Now, let me come to Mr. Esi once again. Mr. Esi, you would want to respond to some of the things said by your brother, Kojo. Let's do 5 minutes and then wrap up. You have 5 minutes.
About 12 minutes and another.
Mr. Esi, you did not do 12 minutes. I'm sorry. I checked the time. I checked the time. You did not do 12 minutes. Sorry, you did not do 12 minutes, but you can go ahead.
That's all the time we started.
You did more than even 20 minutes.
No, 12 minutes.
You can go ahead, Mr. Esi.
You were interacting. No, you see.
55.
No, you see.
You can go ahead.
You were rudely interacting.
On it.
But if I started at 9:10 and you ended at 9:30, so you did 20 minutes, not 12 minutes. I'm sorry. No, I started 9:10. Sorry, I started 9:10.
Your intros and all.
Anyway, you can go ahead. Anyway,
all your intros, I was here.
The intro took just like 2 minutes. You can go ahead.
Before we moved.
Go ahead, Mr. Esi.
Now let's come to. You see, I don't know. It's just he was rabble-rousing, just going around and saying virtually the same thing. You tell me that the government of Ghana and the partners of PDS and the media team met, okay, on this concessionaire agreement and said about over 40 conditions precedent. We will be able to satisfy some, but as we go on, can you vary it to conditions subsequent?
Like seriously?
Okay.
And you're happy with this?
Is it a normal practice?
Listen to me. The government and the media team.
I was led by the vice president. It was led by the vice president.
Could you allow
who the vice president is?
Like seriously?
He has the authority.
So you are happy?
To so act. Okay? If you don't understand, go to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
You get it? He appeared within his capacity as head of the economic management
to change the conditions
and then
such that they would fall into the
Could you kindly allow him?
What is this?
I'll come back to you. Kindly allow Mr. Esi, go ahead.
What is this?
Mr. Esi, kindly go ahead.
so that they take out the assets.
And they are seated there, all the partners involved, including the U.S. rep. And they said, this is our header. Okay? So can something be done about it? And then the team said, okay, this and this and this must be satisfied before we proceed. But the other ones, as we go on, we will vary it and make it condition subsequent.
Okay.
So as and when you satisfy it, then we make progress to strengthen the concessionaire agreement. And you say that is what, a crime? And you are sitting there as a responsible opposition, and you are not going to court? And all you can do is organize a press conference, hoopla. You are not serious. You are so irresponsible.
How do you expect us to go to court?
Why?
Issues of criminality. Issues of criminality.
There's legal breaches.
Issues of criminality.
Has taken a decision.
It's the government.
You have a problem with it. And you are not doing it.
How do we take issues of criminality to court?
They have minority in parliament.
Okay.
And you see, things have been done haphazardly, and not following due process, okay, of law.
Minority will have their say, but the majority will have
No, you come. The finance minister has gone to parliament. He's spoken about this.
Minority has spoken on the PDS deal on several occasions. When he expressed dissatisfaction on the deal.
When the NDC did all the useless demonstrations against the new register,
okay,
where did they finally end up? They went to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
They went to the Supreme Court.
So what did you want us to do to the Supreme Court?
So if you...
This is matters of criminality. So
could you kindly allow him? I'll give you your time to respond to some of these things. So note them down. When I get to you, you respond. You can go ahead, Mr.
That's how they are. They will insult you and then they can't even handle argument and reasonable submissions.
Let's kindly go ahead.
Thank you. You see, he used a certain word, further due diligence. Who did it? The Kaligajepo he is calling. The Kaligajepo. He insisted on behalf of the ECG that this further due diligence be done because they were not too comfortable with the whole process. The Kelly he is talking about, he's an experienced financial person. Okay? And so when he's there, when he mentioned family and friends, I thought he was going to link him to some this thing, nothing. Is he an owner somewhere in the PDS deal? Is he? Okay? So he's insisted. He's the board chair. He's the board chair. And so he said, let's do it. You have almost concluded everything. So let's get it. He doesn't even seem to understand. You were just reading things incoherently. You were just reading the things you didn't. You just bring the things you didn't understand. You guys did you didn't
at the board chair of ECG, they gifted ECG to PDS.
Let's go on, right?
All right, go ahead.
Then you come again and talk about something I already said was the case.
What did you say?
That our Kutz said indeed the person who represented and signed wasn't the one who was supposed to do that.
What happened to them?
That is an international front. Okay, so the Alkut company, we do not have locus over that person, a worker of a certain insurance company. Okay, which insurance agreement was done through Downwell and other international partners.
This is simple logic. Somebody is defrauding you.
So
you identify that the person is defrauding you. And you've said that I won't do anything to the person because the person was defrauding you.
That's why we truncated the whole process. That's why we
and it's truncating the process enough.
And so if you think
is it enough to truncate the process?
Yes, you know, we've truncated it. Further investing, we've seen that nobody has shunted anybody. Even the U.S., those who are bringing the money, they said we should continue with the concessionary agreement. In spite of the fact that they saw something untoward. The U.S., champion of anti-corruption, felt that in spite of this, go on. And we said no. The government says no. We cannot mortgage over $3 billion of our assets. Okay? To a company, a group that we cannot trust because of the initial deceit. That is serious governance.
But
and you say we have interest, family and friends
who dealt?
I want to
who are those?
I'm stopping the process.
Who are those involved in dealing with Akut, where they were unable to get the right persons to sign, instead getting somebody who didn't have the capacity to sign on behalf of Akut to sign the deal?
When they got the Downwell insurance, they were not weightier enough. Okay, so the people who were Miracle, Energia, and then GTS and all those Santa Barbara and Co. They are the PBS leadership who are interested in having the concessionary agreement, and they were tasked to bring the reinsurance. You get it? They bought the insurance and the reinsurance because they ought to be weightier because of the assets involved. You get it? And so if they brought somebody and it's problematic, they lose. Because we say, no, the person you brought didn't meet the criteria because he didn't have the locus. That is what business is then.
All right.
Okay, if you think that because they wanted it and then they brought and we detected the false representation and we truncated or abrogated the agreement and they ought to be prosecuted, that's the matter. I don't have a problem with you. If in the next 100 years you get to power and you want to do that, I ain't got no problem with that. Okay, it is your own cup of tea. But we have gone into the whole thing. We saw that no, something wasn't right, and we truncated the whole agreement.
Now let's look at the 1.5 billion collections.
Put it out there.
Let's look at the 1.5 billion collections that were made by PDS.
Yes, that's what.
Where are those monies?
Oh, but the PDS, ECG didn't stop because PDS are taking over. It was a going concern. Okay. And I have told you that all the transactions that were made were lodged into an account. Okay. And which account they were, using was very operational. Okay. So after the abrogation of the contract, definitely ECG, and don't forget the ECG workers, most of them have then become PDS staff, you know that. And so when it was abrogated, they didn't sack them, they came reverted to ECG. So it was the same people, apart from the top management that he mentioned, apart from some of them, every other staff there was an ECG staff. Okay. And so they know the details. And then the reconciliation was
Isn't it fair that within the period
No, he called for something that you should publish whatever. That's is a good call.
Very well. I was just about to say that even if that within the period, ECG should have accounted to the good people of Ghana how much were collected, where the monies were, so that we are all satisfied that PDS did not take anything out of the country.
How was Sami able to mention 1.5 billion? It means there's an account somewhere.
Okay.
He saw an account somewhere.
All right.
Thank you so much. Can you step down for me? He just conjured something from the figment of his imagination.
All right.
There was an account somewhere he saw. That's what I'm saying. If they have paper trails, if you say there's an offshore transaction, there'll be paper trails. So bring them out. Otherwise, I know that there were investigations of the finances of PDS and the reconciliation was there and both parties were satisfied before they left. Otherwise, they will be in the International Court of Justice seeking that for justice. That would change them. Okay, because they know they did something wrong. Okay, which we detected. And we broke the most transparent precedent. He says, no, we are not going to go on. Even the U.S., who were going to give us 190 million.
That's okay.
President says, because of 190, you want me to mortgage.
Let me come to.
No, we will not do
that. Okay, thank you so much.
So these people are just rabble around.
Fantastic.
He was just going around reading things he didn't understand.
Thank you so much for your submission. Now, let me come to Kojo. You also have things to respond to from his submission. Do the rest 5 minutes. Let's wrap up. You can go ahead.
Look, I think that first of all, my brother is telling Ghanaians that it was not important, okay, for this government to have taken on those individuals, okay, who brought that fraudulent insurance guarantee. Is that what my brother is saying? That the government shouldn't have taken them on, and for that reason they've been left off the hook? You see, leaving these guys off the hook has led to Ghana losing a whooping $190 million, which the U.S. government should have given to us. And this is in excess of about 10 billion Ghana cedis.
Very well.
You understand? Which the U.S. government should have given to Ghana. And in a country where when students are even going to write exams, the exams, more than 10 billion, $190 million, more than 10 billion, check, more than 10 billion, check, $190 million. Do you know $190 million?
We'll cross-check. Please, we'll cross-check. We'll cross-check and come out with
in a country where when kids are going to write exams, we do not even have money to print question papers for them. We rather resort to writing on the board. And we lose such an amount of money because there was no due diligence made under the PDS and ECG deal. In a country where we do not have potable water.
They said that fraud was identified because they were doing due diligence.
With due diligence. I have told you that the FTI report has said that government of Ghana did not take the advice of its financial advisors to do due diligence and not to take any how do you call it guarantee that is subsequent, but rather precedent. But they took subsequent guarantees. And so do you call that due diligence? Is that what you call due diligence? No, that is not due diligence. Now, there are certain questions that we have asked. Now, one of the questions is that the Minister of State agreed that some documents were forged and that the deal was fraudulent. And so if they agree that the deal was fraudulent, those who perpetuated the deal, have they been booked for any offense? That is one question we are asking this government. Again, we are also asking that the state actors, who did not do due diligence to ensure that the asset of ECG. Oh, please. At what point did the state detect it?
Yes.
At what point? Look, if there had been due diligence. No, please. If there had been due diligence. No, wait. If there had been due diligence, I'm not sure that we would have gotten to that point where some amount of money would have been gifted to PDS. Over 1.5 billion gifted to PDS. Oh, please. What's no wonder you are saying that?
Allow him.
Completely.
I've asked him to be quiet.
190 million to
so
10 billion.
Let him land so that we wrap up. Let him land. Let's wrap up. Kindly go ahead. I'll plead with my director to give
just
a few minutes for Koyo to wrap up. I beg you, kindly step down. Let's go.
Look, we are also saying that the state actors, who sat aloof to ensure that this grand scheme was perpetuated against the people of Ghana, must also be brought to book. why haven't they been prosecuted yet by President Akufo-Addo? If indeed, as he touts himself as somebody who is incorruptible, why has he not prosecuted these people? Again, we also want to find out how much money, did PDS collect as bills from March to October 2019 from the people of Ghana. The government should come and tell us. After telling us the bill
has been estimated to 1.5 billion.
We estimated. It was our estimation. You understand? It was our estimation. The government has not been able to account for that yet. And we are saying that they should come and tell us the amount of money they collected. You know that as part of the money they even collected, they used about 12.5 million. To pay the insurance guarantee that they were seeking from Akut. Are you aware? Are you aware?
Yes.
Are you aware? Look, and apart from all these things, what we are saying is that when the government comes to tell us the amount of money PDS collected, he should tell us whether or not they've audited those accounts. And if they, please.
But we are talking PDS. We are not talking about.
Why should I talk about Airbus?
So,
but why should I talk about Airbus?
We will come and talk about Airbus. Don't
worry. Now we are saying that. If they have audited, they should audit those accounts. And if they have audited those accounts, they should let it be published for all of us to see.
All right. Thank you so much, Kojo. Thank you so much, my brother Edem Klenam, for, of course, being patient with me. But Klenam Edem, thank you so much. Let me just read some 3 of our messages and wrap up because you know, right, my brother. Let me just take 3 of the messages. Good evening, Mr. Host. Can we trust our courts now to give us justice? MPP, God is still alive. It is very pathetic to see and hear educated fellows like Mr. Isi defending evil as though it is their only ticket to heaven. I whip for Ghana. Happy there is Judgment Day. You've sent in this one from Winnie, but after listening to many of the MPP communication frontiers, it looks as if they have. All right. You see, we have to send our messages devoid of insults, and I'm sorry. OPK in Gosu says Sami Jemfi, baby with sharp teeth, an NDC press conference yesterday was bogus, and they want equalization on corruption because of their unprecedented corruption on Ejida, Sada, Woyome, etc. But Ghanaians know NDC is more corrupt than any party in Ghana, so it won't work 4 more years for Nana to do more. With his good governance, regards to Honorable Martina J. Kosa, incoming MP for Techima South, Nana Kweku Menu Gosu Sanahini, and Nana Tapuku Gosu and Kobia Hini. Thank you so much for your message. This one says, Justice, kindly ask Kojo to tell us exactly how John Mahama is going to retrieve the so-called PDS money. Is he going to sell another bauxite concessions to his brother in place of PDS? And please allow Mr. Isi to flow. You are too much in a hurry to cut him. I know you are fair. Please be fair to my man. But Justice, please, where is your nose mask? Abeku Sika sent in that particular one. Abeku, thank you so much for your message. Look, my director will beat me if I continue. Please bring people who respect your program. They all respect my program. Good evening, Boss Justice. Mr. EC dares talk about success story of EC registration that EC officials were pleading with people to vouch for. All right, thank you so much. We are not talking EC and all of that. Please, thank you so much for your messages. I have lots of messages over here. Unfortunately, I have not been able to read all of them. Kindly forgive me. Thank you so much, Kojo, for coming. Thank you so much, Mr. EC, for coming. This is what time will last on the program. My name is Justice Appiah, and my cameraman, David, was also here with us in the studio to make it a success. Edem, Sewa, also everyone who has been part of this. B. Foster, Romanos. Thank you so much for also always being there for. Well, this is what time will last. Make a time with us same time tomorrow. Goodbye.
Unnatural hair.
I am Mikesh Crown Salon. Now, keeping natural hair with dreadlocks, no idea, unyame, a boma, meno. Now, you who so shed and I say, maintenance and a lack of knowledge, you know, and ama the air mekaika abrofo and obruni allo ablofui to pollute our natural hair with the harsh, dangerous chemicals. In Kasem, we are Yumunintina, you are starting training, teaching, preaching the gospel according to maintaining natural hair with this lovely natural organic products. Now, she say no ye be school now, ma'am, zebra, na be shia unsano ejuma for you to be one of the best locticians in the whole wide world. And sano ejuma way and sano ejuma osia odi kobe bia esan say to be a loctician no is a job.
Truly African.
We're back. Today is Tuesday. Thank you very much for choosing Pan-African Television. We're back. Today is Tuesday. Thank you very much for choosing Pan-African Television. My name is Kwame Osudan. So let me say a special good morning to all our cherished viewers who are watching us from across the length and breadth of this country. I'm super excited that every morning you wake up to join in the conversation. I'm very, very, very excited about that. That every morning you don't simply just watch the morning show, you contribute significantly to the success of the morning show. And on the basis of that, I want to extend a very hearty thank you to you this morning, and continue to watch Pan-African Television, continue to encourage us to do more. My name is Kwame Owusu-Nanso, and this is Good Morning Africa, the news review segment here on your #1 station, Pan-African Television. I'm sure that there are so many issues that you want us to deal with, but unfortunately we can only deal with a few of them. This morning we are going to be touching on very salient topics, issues that are of great relevance to you and I, bread and butter issues here in the country. And I'm sure that we are going to spark and ignite some light in you for you to be able to apprise yourselves with exactly what is transpiring in Ghana, particularly within this particular administration. So these are the issues that I want to share with you before we zoom into the substantive matters properly and deal with the issues and the nuances and the ramifications, etc., that will be arising in respect of same. Now, Mahama will retrieve 1.5 billion revenue collected by PDS in fraudulent power concession, NDC assures, and I'm sure that you are aware of this particular statement because it was delivered by Sami Jemfi yesterday, I presume, and when the NDC held a presser, and what they describe as, I think they hashtag this a certain, I've forgotten how they described it, but it has to do with the fraud, something with respect to fraud. I'll find that out and I'll share that with you. Also, probe depositors' payment claims, minority demands, Daily Heritage reported that particular story. Now, one very important issue that is still unfolding has to do with the sale of Kotoka Airport and matters arising. Indeed, the former president and a leader of the NDC has taken a swipe at the MPP for intending even to sell the Kotoka International Airport. And he is opining unequivocally that even the lands around Kotoka can, when sold, be equal the amount of money that we are selling the whole Kotoka International Airport for. So he doesn't think that conscience really prevailed in this conversation regarding the sale of Kotoka International Airport. Now, I couldn't agree with him more. I mean, I believe that if we go on selling spree and we sell all the state assets, there will be nothing left for the future generation to boast about. So, I mean, in selling all of these assets, we should be very circumspect and be guided by conscience. We should pack our conscience next to our actions and act in a manner that will be of interest for and interest in the general good of the people of Ghana. So we are going to be touching on that particular story. Also, very crucially, is a topic that has been raging for some time now, and many people are asking this particular question, particularly on social media. People are asking questions about the stewardship of the NDC vis-a-vis that of the MPP. What are the truths in the NDC's administration? What are the lies in the NDC's administration? What are the truths and the lies in the MPP's administration? We're going to be looking at all of these issues here and more. Today is really fully packed, and we're definitely going to have a very wonderful show this morning. Let me go for this quick commercial break. On my return, I'm going to be introducing my panelists for the conversation, and then we kickstart. Stay with us. Don't move a muscle. But even before that, let me remind you that the WhatsApp number is active. It's 026084 6539 026 6539, and we're also streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/Pan-African Television. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/Pan-African Television. For those of you who are following me on Facebook, well, it's good news for you. Kwame Usudanso, I'll be hosting it on my wall as well, and so you can watch it on my Facebook wall, my personal Facebook wall. Also on Twitter, #GoodMorningAfrica and #Kwame Usudanso. I'll see it and I'll read your messages for you. Stick and stay, don't move a muscle. Grab a cup of coffee or a bottle of water. Sit in the comfort of your sitting room. I shall return shortly for us to engage ourselves in this very wonderful conversation. Stay with us.
Breakfast good day, every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted.
Breakfast good day, every day. Every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
It's incredible! Bang on target!
Hello?
Oh, Sisiana sound.
Okay, why? Hey, my wife comes and send a message you. Hello? What's happened?
It's a child who's will be a quiet say what? I dare say,
besides friend of friend, I'm so here too. My wife not testing messages here, and our office so I'm trying to tell man. She says, I
mean, himself, we a guy manu, and may young who could look cry. And also wants a family drilling company limited for Kana.
What's it then? Family Drilling Company Limited.
Ye two borehole, biofuel, biogas, swimming pool, plumbing works in Yinaso, Yeyebi, Fraying, 0240-333-111, and NASA 0244-144-822.
Miampa and you want swimming pool on me fee. Me want to, we'll be here. Family drilling now, I say. Family drilling.
Talk fast is your last shit.
Me out with.
Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying tuned into Pan African Television. The WhatsApp number, like I told you, is 0260846539. And we're also streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/Pan African Television. So, the topics that before then, let me introduce my panelists. I have with me here Benjamin Isian, who's representing the CPP. Good morning to you, Benjamin. And I hope you're doing very well. Fantastic. And our very own ambassador, Sam Piyale, is also here seated. Good morning to you, Ambassador. I love your outfit, though. You're not easy cry.
I see.
I love it. And I love your hat.
Yeah.
I'll borrow it. Also, I'm looking at Saka Salia from the corner of my eye. Saka is with the MPP. Today is going to be very, very, very exciting. A very exciting show this morning. Like I opined before the break, let me quickly share with you again the topics. We are discussing the fact that the NDC, Mahama says he will retrieve 1.5 billion revenue collected by PDS in fraudulent power concession, probe depositors' payments claims, minority demands, and also we are talking about the sale of Kotoka Airport and matters arising, and also NDC MPP. What are the truths and the lies in the previous administration and this particular administration? What are the truths and what are the lies? So these are the topics that we're going to be discussing this morning. You want to join in the conversation, really, with your thoughts and your contributions. Good morning to you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for the time.
Good morning.
Very well. Right. Okay, so we're kickstarting the conversation with the story captured by the Masses newspaper, which says Mahama will retrieve 1.5 billion revenue collected by PDS in fraudulent power concession, NDC assures. I want to start with you because you are really relatively new on my show. So it's important that I start with you. Let me baptize you with a very wonderful welcome. So let's start the conversation with you on that one.
Let me take this opportunity to greet our viewers, especially our acting chair, Haji Hamdatu Ibrahim, and all aspirants who want to lead the CPP come 22nd August.
Are you not part of them?
I'm not part of them.
Okay.
But
including Haji's opponent?
Including Haji's opponent. So, yeah, Hajia has opponent. So I greet all aspirants, including Hajia herself, Hajia Hamdatu, who has served well for the Convention People's Party, and she keeps on serving well for the Convention People's Party. Kwame, I think PDS was one of the scandals that we discussed extensively in 2019. Right, when this deal came up, we had various political commentators, various civil society commentators like yourself, journalists, who actually thought that the government, which is the MPP government, was shortchanging us, right? And all spoke against it. But in speaking against it, and then let me say, in speaking against it, and then I want to use this appropriate word, cancelling it. We realized that before cancelling it, PDS was actually taking money from the people of Ghana. Now, after cancelling it, my friend Sakai's party and the party in government could not come out to tell us how much they realized from that particular deal, because whether assumption or in reality, when you give a concession to a particular entity and the concession, the entity takes charge, which is PDS, takes charge of ECG and starts taking money, Kwame, the assumption is that PDS will realize some income or revenue from this deal. Now, after cancelling it, the government of Ghana, which is the MPP government, could not tell us how much money was realized. So I think after the cancellation, we had formal director of, is it Alex Mould, right?
GMPC.
He did a GMPC. He did a presentation and other calculations done by other civil society organizations indicated that PDS not come to his, or there was no sustainability in it. The government of Ghana could not tell us, and they have been silent on this issue. So I was happier when I heard the former president, His Excellency John Dramani, this issue back. Because, Kwame, if you look at the budget, right, and the finance minister tells us that we cannot have good roads because of corona. He tells us that we cannot have good hospitals because of corona. He tells us that we cannot have good water because of corona. And we have a whooping sum of 1.5 billion sitting with PDS. Can this government take it to solve one or two issues that we've been complaining of? The government can take it, but the reluctance of this government in taking it has caused this problem. So it's a good news that the former president has brought it up, even if assuming that he doesn't win this election. But bringing it up is a good call, because we have to look for that money, because that money belongs to the people of Ghana, not those individuals, because the PDS deal did not end. It was cancelled. But after the cancellation, the money realized by PDS has not been told to the people of Ghana.
There was an agreement signed